Hello friends, refuses to play with Donnie because he mains position 5 Void Spirit here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on behalf of Dota Alchemy. And in this video, Donnie and I have played quite a few games of the new patch. We've both been fiending Dota, we've been watching, and we have some takes on what's probably going to get fixed, what's too strong, what's good, what's fun, and that's what this video is going to be. We're going to give you our hot takes on patch 7.23.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's interesting in the streets, in the Dota streets right now. It's chaos, anarchy.
As usual. Every single year, it's like this.
Every time there's a big old patch. So let me ask you that right off the bat. Does this deserve to be 7.23 or should it be 8.0? Because this is some pretty next level stuff that's happened.
Yeah, I was thinking 7.3 would make a lot more sense than 7.23. This is pretty big. I mean, they added 60 items.
62 to be exact.
62 items to the game. So it would make a lot of sense to pump up that number a little bit. And speaking of items, I think this is the number one thing that people are complaining about. I've seen this on Reddit. I've talked to friends who are trying to play professionally, and they're not exactly too happy about it as it is right now. I think most people aren't contesting the fact that it's fun to play. We've both played on this patch a lot,
so
and
fun.
It's really fun. It is really fun. But Turbo is fun.
Yeah.
And you couldn't play Turbo competitively. So that's really the problem. And I have faith in Valve that they're going to fix it and make it competitive, because this has happened before. I believe in the talents patch, was it 7.0? It was crazy as well. It felt unplayable.
The instant respawn talents and stuff like that on Lina and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that was pretty nuts.
Lone Druid.
Yep.
We had the ho ho ha ha patch too, where you'd win one fight and snowball in the opposite direction. So the meta was just to hold high ground. So this has happened before, where it's like, I don't see a single way that this can be played competitively. And that's because there isn't a way that it can be played competitively. Not yet. But we have the whole Dota 2 community basically working on it by playing and giving feedback. So I definitely think there's going to be some pretty quick changes.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, we are heading into a competitive season. I mean, we're in a competitive season. We're heading into qualifiers right now. So who knows whether the qualifiers are going to be played on the remotely the same patch as the next major. Maybe they'll even just let it ride for the first major and gather data on that. Seems pretty interesting to have your competitive scene determined by potentially some item drops that you farm. But
right. Yeah, you say that. So I'm playing I'm trying to play in the open qualifiers on Friday. And I'm trying to get a grasp on the game. And you mentioned just kind of hoping for items there. And we played a few games on stream. And one thing that I noticed is that you get so many high value items. And what really flipped the switch for me was when I got Ring of Aquila. I was sitting there killing a centaur camp. It's like, oh, 43 gold for killing the centaur. Cool. Boom, I get a Ring of Aquila. Now, I've seen that item in Dota before because it was an item. So I know how much that's worth. That's 1,000 gold item. And the amount of neutral creeps that I had to farm in order to get that item from the last item that I got, it wasn't 1,000 gold. The item drops have effectively quadrupled people's GPM. Supports too, because you have cores that are getting you items. You just have a couple of heroes that are farming the jungle camps. You get items. You get an item that carry doesn't want, gives it to a support.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's crazy. So it feels like gold is a lot less meaningful. It's more meaningful to have map control.
Yes, map control is paramount right now, because the more jungle camps you have, the more items you get, basically.
Right, exactly. So I do think gold still has value. It's just nowhere near as much as it used to be. The way that I see gold right now is you're going to be so full on items that you're not really going to have slots for anything. So those slots that you're filling up with the gold that you're farming, that must be really a really important item that goes in that slot. I'm talking like bloodthorns, nullifiers, sheep sticks, BKBs. Like I don't see a reason why you would go drums of endurance when you can just pick up some like squirt fish or whatever item from or like hot kettle from neutral camp that's like, oh, gives you double mana. You know, why would I spend gold on these other items when I can just get slotted on these other items so quickly? And that kind of brings me to my point of, I think that the drop chance on the items, it needs to be scaled down. I think it's way too high that in the time that I'm farming 4,000 gold and I farm a BKB, I get 10,000 gold worth of other items. So why do by the point I get my BKB, it's like I don't have slots for it anymore because the items that I have from the neutral camps are taking up slots and they're better than the BKB. So what do I do with the gold? Okay, I guess I'm getting a bloodthorn. Every game I'm ending up with bloodthorns, man.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, we're watching this game right now in the background as we talk about it, and Sumail is going Radiance on Razor simply so he can clear camps and farm faster. Like, that's literally why he went this item.
Yeah, I think Maelstrom is another really good item too, just on any hero. To travel, anything that lets you just move across the map and clear jungles and push waves. And we're not even pushing the waves because we want to farm objectives anymore or take objectives anymore. We're pushing waves so we can kill the jungle camps that are behind them.
Right.
That's why you push waves now. So like waves are more important, but for the worst possible reason in Dota. Like everybody complains about AFK hitting neutrals, and now it's like, no, we're not AFK hitting neutrals. We're pushing lanes and getting objectives, so we have more neutrals to hit.
We're playing Diablo 3 right now. We're farming our end game loot so we can end the game, at 70 plus minutes with those GG items that are there.
Right. By the way, speaking of that, how about the Courier being able to use items? What in God's name?
Why?
What in God's name is that? Like, a game goes to 70 minutes. If you get a mirror shield, you win.
Yeah.
Period. It's 75% Lincolns, and it reflects the spell. If you have any amount of effective HP, the enemy team can have no targeted spells, and they still can't kill you because you just go effective HP, and they can't ever sheep you or nullify you because it'll just be reflected.
Yeah.
What do you do? I feel like it's random at 70 minutes. It's just random who gets the item and who wins.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we're less than 12 hours into the patch, and so there will be strategies that are developed for sure. But I think initially they're probably going to revolve around controlling as many jungle camps as possible and controlling the outposts, because the outposts are they're almost like an inn to the jungle after your tier 1s fall. So like if you lose your tier 1s, it's almost not as bad because you can still access the jungle as long as you're controlling the outpost. It's kind of like having a tower there. And then the EXP bonus that you get is also huge. So
yeah, the every 5 minutes, and then also it's right on top of a bounty spawn.
Right.
So the thing is, it is something that has been developed in the past few months. At the very least, I've heard of it in the past few months in terms of like how to control the map. Is if you have a lead, you control an area of the map, you like smoke to your own jungle, get a pick off, force them to TP to the other side of the map, and then you like sweep across and you just push the enemy team into their base that way. And the outposts seem perfect for making that sort of play. It's like you can so easily you can like run into your jungle, push the enemy team out, they all TP to the other lane, to the other side of the map, you TP to the outpost, and then you sweep across.
Right, you can like pincer them. With
exactly with the outposts. And I mean, they give flying vision, so if you see anyone going to try to capture it, it's so dangerous. I think that if somebody's trying to capture your outpost, you need to immediately TP.
Yeah,
I seriously think if you can take like the 2 outer towers and keep both of the outposts and you just TP and hold the outpost, you just win. Yeah, I seriously think you just win.
I think you just win too. I think that the teams that are really good at doing that sort of map control, where they, a team like EG could be really good because they're good at like getting map control and then holding the map control.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that kind of style is going to be extremely beneficial, at least in the current state of the game.
Yeah.
Another thing that I do think that's really interesting about how the patch is potentially going to play out right now is just the fact that it kind of seems like the fights are being like forced at us, like way harder than before, because I don't know, the map feels more open. It feels like it's very hard to control your own jungle. It feels like it's really easy to invade everything on the map, because like the high grounds are not nearly as oppressive as they were before.
There's even ramps up like double high grounds now.
Yeah.
You know, like it solved a lot of those problems of trying to invade an area.
Yeah,
and then there's outposts. You can't lose outposts. Like they can't. They're not like towers where you can take them. You always have, or shrines. You always have outposts.
Right.
You can take and then TP to. So it's so dangerous to try to secure an area.
It really is, and that's the thing. So it's like you can almost just. There's just so many opportunities to take fights right now, because the outposts, the bounty runes, the power runes, just the fact that the map feels like it's kind of a fully open battlefield where you just kind of like crash into each other over and over and over. I mean, I think one of the games we played, there was literally just like 10 people mid for like 5 minutes just running at each other.
Yeah. I think also it's like this fact that supports have, everybody has like these new items, supports have items, people are like, oh, I have this item, let's go fight. Like nobody really knows right now like what the power spikes are in terms of these items. Like, okay, guys, we got a mango tree. Let's wait 10 minutes until we have like 10 mangoes, and then let's go fight. So I do think, like you said, we will see strategies get developed, and it'll probably revolve around like some of these really broken items. Like if you get this item, you do this. If you get this item, you do this.
Right.
And I think that's extremely interesting. But with that being said, there definitely needs to be a scaling down on a lot of the items, such that it's not so chaotic, because within such a chaotic atmosphere, in something that seems so RNG, that it seems like there's no really way to develop those strategies, because it's also random right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I do want to counter that point a little bit, where it's kind of like if you get a drop of a certain type of item, then you can itemize to like benefit that. So let's say you would normally go for sort of the standard build where you get some farming items and then you get a defensive item, then you get damage. If you drop the damage early, then you can just go straight into the defensive and maybe double down on having defense, because you already have the damage portion of your hero taken care of. So that's kind of cool that you can adapt a little bit like that. But I do agree that it does feel awfully
random.
Awfully random. Somebody drops an Iron Talon and the other person drops like Imp's Claw or something like that. And you're just like, okay,
yeah. So, I mean, those numbers will be tweaked, though. That's the thing. This is just how it is all the time. I do want to briefly mention at the end here, just that I think the new heroes, people think that they're not good. Because I see a lot of people tweeting that the win rates are low, and I just want to remind people that happens every single time a new hero comes out, is that people pick it and drive the win rate down.
Yes.
Because they don't know what they're doing. People pick it in other roles. I played Snapfire mid in a game on stream, and it went horribly, but it felt like a kit that would be really good for an offlaner. It really felt good. For that, but I felt like I needed somebody that was better at like starting fights. I needed somebody that was good at like disabling. Like, I don't think the heroes are super overpowered. Maybe they are, because they're just so complicated that they could be overpowered. I think that they haven't really been figured out yet. I think that's all that we're seeing with the win rates being low, is that nobody's really figured out the best way to play them. But I don't see how they can't not be overpowered, just with how
I'm pretty sure
their skill sets are.
I'm pretty sure that Void Spirit's like really overpowered.
I'm pretty sure they both are.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're both very good.
They both do a lot of things that you want heroes to do. And so, yeah. I mean, but as far as like winning games right now, what would you say? Who would you pick? Like if we had to give our viewers like 2 or 3 things that will win you a lot of Dota games right now. Heroes, items,
okay.
Playstyle.
Pick Lone Druid, Bat Rider, Razor, and Crystal Maiden.
Yeah.
Mostly Lone Druid, because he has so many slots. He has 12 slots. So yeah, you can just get all of those jungle items. When your team doesn't want items, don't worry, guys. I'm a garbage collector, lone druid here. I will take them. That's the play. Just play for the jungle items. That's how you win Dota right now.
Sure. I would also definitely say that um, I believe that jungling is coming back, but we are at a point now where lanes are so important where if you just hard jungle, you're going to lose your team the game. So there has to be some way for you to help your lane out and then jungle, I think that that's the way to do it. Whereas like if you were to just, take a Bloodseeker or Legion Commander or whatever and just go jungle from minute 1, your lane is probably going to be awful unless you can pick like, a Bristleback or somebody that doesn't care.
You need something you need to have people pushing lanes so you can jungle. That's the game right now is you get the lanes out and you get map control first and foremost, and with the map control you jungle.
Yep.
Which I think doesn't really change the meta all that much, other than heroes like Alchemist that get more gold aren't as valuable as heroes that just kill jungle camps fast.
Right.
Like Drow is going to be pretty decent. Anti-Mage with the Battle Fury is going to be pretty decent.
Sven.
Like, I played Weaver earlier. That doesn't feel all that great because it takes a long time for him to be able to just go into the jungle and start killing jungle camps. Lycan's probably good because you can give a support the lane and you just go jungle. And at 5 minutes, like Lycan wants to jungle anyway.
Yep.
And then you're also getting those jungle items at 5 minutes. So like, why the hell would you lane? And then you just use the ultimate every single cooldown to fight, get a tower, push lanes, and then go jungle, and then ultimate, and then jungle. It's like the easiest way to win Dota. Go Lycan. That's actually my pick. I'm gonna start picking Lycan.
Nice. Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, let us know what you think about the patch down below. What is your favorite thing? What's your tip? What's your, hero of choice for grinding right now? And how bananas do you think the items are? Love to hear your thoughts. Good luck in your game. Seriously, good luck. You're going to need it. It's wild. And we'll see you in the next video.